Welcome to the observation deck. Predestination, mysticism, the hero's journey, all culminates throughout the vision of Escaflowne. Now, just to give you a brief explanation on this show, the vision of Escaflowne is a unique and wonderful anime all about isekai, fantasy, mecha, and with a lot of romance sprinkled on top. The Vision of Escaflowne had its TV run in Japan in 1996 with 26 episodes and stellar music from Yoko Kanno. Now, the Vision of Escaflowne revolves around our protagonist Hitomi Kanzaki and our deuteragonist Vaughn Fennell. Vaughn Fennell, who is the king of Fenelia on Gaia, and Hitomi is a high schooler with latent psychic abilities who mysteriously gets raptured to Gaia and has to plot out her path, figure out what her destiny is on Gaia. But not only that, Hitomi gets enthralled in a lot of conflicts on Gaia. And during all of that, she makes new friends, new allies, and Hitomi has to uncover what are the ancient secrets of Atlantis. Okay, spoilers. Those are definitely possible from here forward. Now, here's an interesting thing. Predestination and destiny are weaved throughout, if not all, of the events that do take place within the vision of Escaflowne. Invisible hands, systems, forces unseen, moving and revealing events to come before the story even starts and until it ends. Even Hitomi's path to Gaia was set. It was never by accident or by coincidence. It was actually revealed to her that another world was calling out to her, that Hitomi was destined for something greater, whether she understood it or not. Now, here's another interesting thing about destiny within the story. It is actually never explicitly stated that there is anything at work behind the scenes controlling the events that we see. However, we do see subtle signs through Hitomi and Emperor Dunkirk that there may be something moving things along. But look, even though both of them have this greater perception of this higher reality, Emperor Dunkirk and Hitomi and Emperor Dunkirk view and interact with destiny, predestination, fate, whatever you want to call it. They interact with these forces in completely different ways, and they view them quite differently. Hitomi chooses to abide and move with the paths revealed to her through her clairvoyant powers and divination, through fortune telling, tarot card reading, and such, right? So Hitomi makes her decisions from that. Whether or not she understands that the things she's shown do actually come from greater forces that are controlling the destiny and predestination of Earth and Gaia. Now, Emperor Dunkirk, or Isaac as he was called on Earth, was a 17th century scientist obsessed with uncovering the mystery of destiny. So during that period, Emperor Dunkirk got so obsessed with destiny that his desire became so potent that on his deathbed, he got raptured to Gaia. And while on Gaia, Emperor Dunkirk, or Isaac during that time, saw an impoverished and war-ridden Gaia and decided to create his Zaibach nation of technological marvel in order to be able to control destiny. Now, interestingly enough, Hitomi's destiny was always in her hands from the very beginning. The necklace. The necklace that acts as a conduit for bringing about her will on any event. So the necklace allows Hitomi to shape the outcome and the destiny of any event. Yes, it has some caveats, but essentially that's what the necklace allows her to do in a larger sense. So the necklace symbolizes that the object of our destiny can sometimes be closer to us than we actually realize. At first, Hitomi thought that this necklace was just a fun, lucky charm she could just play around with, without having any idea that the necklace was the key to her psychic abilities and her connection with Gaia and the Escaflowne. Now, Dunkirk, although similar to Hitomi because both of them do come from Earth, or the mystic moon as it is referred to on Gaia, having access to these invisible forces, Hitomi by her Atlantean necklace and Dunkirk by his technology. However, Dunkirk doesn't really rely on being guided or led by these greater forces, but would rather control them for his own ambition and shape Gaia by his own will and create destinies as he sees fit. Now, Hitomi has her own necklace, but Dunkirk relies on this technology of his that allows him to manipulate fate, the destiny alteration engine. So this thing allows him to create destinies, to set events as he sees fit. His goal of becoming transcendent and authority in control of these greater forces actually comes true in a way. Now, Dunkirk no longer being bound to a course set for him as far as he's aware, but being able to create destinies for others as he sees fit and even oversee them to some degree or not. The power to control fate, the power to shape destiny. The vision of Escaflowne permeates a hero's journey of reluctance, that sometimes, even though we may have a lot of doubts and negative biases about ourselves, we need to become the version of ourselves that can handle and overcome certain situations that at times only we are supposed to solve and can solve. Now, Hitomi, our protagonist, is a great example of this. Having been whisked away to Gaia, she is the only one that can overcome what's happening to Gaia as far as the manipulation of destiny on Gaia. And she has to believe and come to terms within herself that she does have what it takes, regardless of the doubts and the biases she has against herself. She has to believe that she has what it takes, she has the tools, and that she can make a difference here on Gaia. Now, a similar situation to Hitomi's, a situation of being thrust into a job that only you can solve, whether you believe in yourself or not, is Prince Sheed. Though Prince Sheed is not necessarily a reluctant hero, because at some point he does accept that he has to become the new Duke of his kingdom frame. So Prince Sheed, though at first fearful and hesitant at first because of his young age, accepts his position as the new Duke of his kingdom frame after his father, the previous Duke, dies in battle while randomly monologuing about Atlantis, then dying, leaving his son, his young boy, to carry out as the new Duke, the only one left who can lead Freyd in this terrible situation under the hand of the Zybach Dominion. Even the show's deuteragonist Von Fanel, king of the destroyed kingdom of Fenelia, shares a similar story to Prince Sheed, alone carrying a massive burden to rebuild and revive their destroyed homelands and put a stop to the Zybach Empire's desire to rule over Gaia and destiny. So thrust into this heavy situation with burdens on their shoulders that only they can carry. Now, the vision of Escaflowne teaches us that the destinies that we may be predestined to walk, whether we choose to align with them or not, may not always be pretty, but they do serve to fulfill something greater, whether we know it or not. And I am of the belief that every single person is meant to do something great. Thanks for watching this video. Like, subscribe, and goodbye.